Hello, core artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. I'm here for Thankful Thursday. It's Thursday. Yay. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm really excited for the weekend. First, what I'm thankful for, I am thankful for my daughter. She's growing up so well. She took me to lunch today. It was for Mother's Day. So let me kind of recap my weekend. I made all these grandiose plans about what I was going to do this weekend. I didn't do any of them. I mean, I did the minimum. I did the minimum. I did the absolute minimum required. And I basically relaxed all weekend. I did. I relaxed all weekend. I did do some sewing. I did do some. And I did some sewing this week. I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. It's kind of exciting. Well, not working on, but the things that I finished or are in various stages of completion. So it's been pretty cool. So I talked about how I was going to do nothing for Mother's Day, but I forgot that my family had plans I thought it was Sunday, but it ended up being Saturday. My great grandmother for Mother's Day, she likes to visit her mother's gravesite, and then she likes to go to her favorite restaurant, which we all hate. We all hate that place. I don't think their food is good. But I think it's kind of like a nostalgic thing for her. It's nostalgic. And I think that's why she likes to go there. It holds memories for her. And that's why she likes to go. And that's why none of us complain when she wants to go to the same restaurant. Well, at least we don't complain to her face. We might talk about it behind her back, but we don't say anything to her face that we don't like that restaurant. So I thought it was Sunday, but it was actually Saturday. And I really thought about going. I considered it. I thought about it. And then I was like, I don't really want to. And then also I had to take my daughter to work. Her car is not operational right now. And so I had to take her to work at 4:00. And to have her take an Uber would have been kind of last minute. I backed out. I didn't go. Also because I'm going to be going down next weekend as well. Because my mom is moving and I'm going next weekend to help move, and I'm going to see them all next weekend as well. So I skipped, because it's like an hour drive for me, hour and 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes one way. My car, I have a 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. It drinks gas. And so to drive down there twice, 2 weeks in a row was just a bit much. So it'll be fine. I've got their cards. I've got their little gifts, and I'll give it to them when I see them next weekend. And that's just going to have to be okay. Because sometimes, I'm a mother too. And sometimes I want to spend my Mother's Day doing what I want to do. And I don't normally do that. I normally go and I visit my mother and my grandmother on Mother's Day almost every year. I very rarely skip. But I skipped this year. And I just kind of did nothing, and it was great. And then Sunday I got up. Well, I didn't sleep well Saturday night. And I went to sleep really, really late. So I slept in Sunday morning. I didn't wake up. I opened my eyes at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. That's how late I slept in. And I honestly could have gone back to sleep. I honestly could have closed my eyes and went back to sleep. But when I saw the time, I forced myself to get up because I knew that if I did not get up, I wouldn't be able to sleep that night because I would end up sleeping till 12 or 1 o'clock, and then I would not be able to sleep the next night, and it would be like this vicious cycle of sleeping late and going to bed late, and I don't want to get into that. So I didn't do that. And literally, I opened my eyes, I sat up, I got my phone out, and then at that exact moment, Adrian walked in the room, and because he had made me breakfast. He made me breakfast in bed, and it was really sweet. It was really sweet. So he made pancakes, sausages, bacon, and scrambled eggs. All of my favorites. All of my favorites. I like grits too, but I had grits the day before. And you don't need pancakes and grits, okay? You don't need two breads. One bread is already one too much. We don't need two breads on the plate, okay? It's all bread to me. All of that stuff is bread. I call it all bread. I mean, honestly, I should just call it all cake. is what I should call it. I had syrup and everything. It was great. He even made me a cup of coffee, and he made it right. He put the right amount of cream. He put the right amount of sweetener. It was great. I was great. I really appreciated it. And so I ate, and about 1 o'clock, we're just sitting in the bed. We're just sitting in the bed on our phones. And then he put the TV on. And we start watching, catching up on our shows. And I'm like, well, since I'm sitting here catching up on our shows, I might as well drag out this crochet blanket. So I pulled my crochet blanket out and I did some crocheting. I'm pretty sure I didn't do any sewing on Mother's Day. I just worked on the crochet and watched TV, and that was it. I had a lazy day. I did nothing. I didn't wash a dish. I didn't fold any laundry. I didn't clean anything. I did nothing on Mother's Day except sit on my tail and do a little bit of crochet. That was it. It was amazing. It's great. Work this week has been a bit trying. I made a couple of mistakes. I don't like to make mistakes, but everybody makes them. It's just that I made like 2 mistakes like back to back, and so if you make one mistake and then 6 months later you make another mistake, people get over it. But it's like if you make 2 mistakes, woo, the sky is friggin' falling. So anyway, I'll get through that. I'm not going to worry about it. So, yeah. So then Monday through Thursday, I went to work. Didn't really have much going on this week. Taking my daughter back and forth to work, taking my son back and forth to work because he has a job now at Hardee's, his first job. Proud of him. I took him to work today. He gets off at 9, 4 to 9. Yeah, it's been a decent week. Other than the work stuff, it's been a decent week. So today I met my daughter because she wanted to take me out for Mother's Day, and I was like, honey, I love you. I don't want to go anywhere for Mother's Day. Now, if Adrian had wanted to take me out for Mother's Day, I would have done that, but I didn't want to do nothing else. So I was like, let's do it later in the week. So originally we were going to do it yesterday, Wednesday, but it was raining. And I hate driving in the rain. And then the traffic in this area when it rains is ridiculous because people don't know how to drive. So we met today, and she bought me lunch. She bought me some flowers. She bought me a bottle of wine. And she was like, I'm 21, so I could buy you wine for Mother's Day. I could buy you a bottle of wine. I'm 21 now. Anyway. So she got me a bottle of wine and a card, and it was all very sweet. Adrian got me flowers and a card, and my son got me a card and some donut holes, and I ate them, all of them, and they were good. I like donut holes. I don't normally eat donuts anymore, like a whole donut, but every once in a while I like to get some donut holes. Every once in a while, and he bought me some, so that was super kind. So I had a happy Mother's Day, and I hope you all did as well. And those of you who do not have human children, you might have fur babies, so happy Mother's Day to you. You might have an aunt or a cousin or a coworker that you mother. I think as women, whether you have human children or not, I feel like we all mother in some type of way. So I say happy Mother's Day to all of my aunts. So my mother, my grandmother, and my mother's 2 sisters, I give them all birthday cards, and I say happy birthday to all of them because I felt like they all had a hand in raising me. They don't have any children of their own. So, me and my sister are like their children, but more so me because my mother had me when she was very, very young. My mother was 16 when I was born. And so her sisters were 15 and 14. So literally, they helped raise me. At 14, 15, and 16, they helped to raise me. So probably the first 3 or 4 years of my life, I had 4 moms because I had my mother, her 2 sisters, and my grandmother. So I consider myself to have 4 moms. Anyway. So that's enough about me and my Mother's Day and my week. Let's talk about what I've been crafting. So, a while back, we got some Americana fat quarters in our Open Gate Quilt subscription box. And I didn't know it was in the fat quarter add-on, the Stash Buster add-on. And I'm like, what am I going to do with these fat quarters? What am I going to do with them? And we throw a big 4th of July party every year. So I was going to make a 4th of July table runner. That was my original plan. And so I was looking for a pattern, and I found a block that Monique designed called King's Crown. But I decided, instead of making a table runner, I made two hot pads. So I just put 2 blocks together. I did some rudimentary quilting here. So you can tell I just kind of quilted this this diamond here. I quilted that. I quilted around that stitch in the ditch. And I quilted this line, that line, and then this horizontal line and that horizontal line. Just super basic. Actually, I didn't even do this horizontal line. I think I meant to, and I forgot. I meant to in my brain, but I didn't do it. I might go back and do it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So these are going to be 4th of July, but when we do it, we have those large aluminum pans. And so I thought these would be cute to kind of put the pans on, like to protect the table. So I used not heat and bond. What do you call that? What do you call it? Oh my God, Insulbright. But I didn't use Insulbright. I used the Lori Holt version of Insulbright. And so, yeah. So I've made 2. They are identical. It was going to be a table runner, right? I had 4 blocks, and it was going to be a table runner, or I could have did 2 as a table topper. But I decided to make 2 separate ones, and then I could put a pan on each to protect the table. So these are basically going to be like hot pads for me. And I've already prepped my binding. I took a bunch of scraps because I didn't have any of this fabric left over. I just put this blue solid on the back, and I didn't have any of it left over. So I was able to trim enough from when I trimmed the quilt, I had enough left over to piece together for binding. So once I get the binding on, those will be done. So excited about that. I also finished. Oh shoot, it's on my table already. Let me go grab it. Okay, so in the Open Gate Quilt subscription box we got, I loved that stinking project. Loved it. So it's finished. I got it all quilted and bound. I think I showed you guys last week that I put the houses together. Did I show it? I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. But I got it quilted and bound. And like I said before, Monique had a green strip here, but I chose this grunge instead, this gray grunge, just because it matched the aesthetics of my home better. That was the only reason. But I did some very rudimentary straight line quilting on here, basically just stitching in the ditch, because this is just going to be on my table. So I don't need a bunch of quilting. Like, this thing is barely quilted. Barely quilted. Barely. But I love it. As soon as I made it, it immediately went on my table. I love it. I love it. I love it. I need to take a picture and put it on my Instagram. Also, in the, I don't know if it was was this in the Step Into Spring, or was this in, I'm getting all my projects mixed up. Which one was this in? I think this was in the Step Into Spring box. Was it? Or was it in the... I can't remember which project, if this was, I can't remember. I know it's Open Gate, but I'm just not remembering if it's the, no, this is in the monthly box. This was in the monthly subscription box. Okay, I'm tripping. If this was, I had to think for a second. This was in the monthly subscription box. It was the little applique kit, I love this thing. I originally had messed it up and I sewed this panel on backwards, and I went and took it out and re-sewed it. But this is the cutest little thing. And I have it in here because I need to do some applique on this little piece here, because this came from the Step Into Spring box from Open Gate. And so I need to applique this down, applique my flower down, and then do some embroidery. So I have it here in my little applique kit. For me, it's going to be a little embroidery kit. But I've got my pearl cotton in there. This is just, I don't need the pearl cotton. I don't need this string for this thread to do this. I'm going to use the pearl cotton that I've got here. But the loop was there, so I put the thread there. But this thing came out so cute. It's so stinking cute. It's just adorable. It's just adorable. And of course, it came with this little pressing mat. And then I threw this little hoop in here so that when I do the embroidery, I can use that as my hoop. Also, in the Open Gate Quilt subscription, let me see. I don't remember which one, but we had another little project in here for an iron keeper. Or, yeah, like an iron, like to store your iron. So, and this was already pre-cut. So you didn't even have to cut anything. You literally just start sewing. So I went ahead and made this and put this together. And then this is the little cord keeper to hold your cord. And then this is the sole plate where you put your iron. You tie this around to hold it on. You use this to hold your cord. So, yeah. I wanted to get to these placemats in the Step Into Spring, but I didn't get a chance to do those yet. That's going to have to wait for a little bit. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. And then for the blanket that I've been crocheting, I have made progress. I've only been working on this. My intention was to start another crochet project and have this just be a side project, like a palette cleanser. But it's not working out like that. It's just... That's not what's happening. I'm just working on this blanket. I do have a basket. I think I showed you guys last week that I'm working on. I have not touched the basket. I've really just been enjoying working on this blanket. So this is where I'm at right now. Oh, shoot. My phone just stopped. This is where I'm at right now. So the way I'm thinking... this should end up being, I think, like 45, like 40 by 50 or something like that. I kind of guessed the final measurements, but I didn't write it down, and my memory's garbage. But I'm pretty sure this is like 40 something wide. And then I wanted it to be longer than it was wide because that's just me. I just prefer... I prefer a rectangular blanket. That is just the aesthetic that I prefer. And so I've got it to where I believe that that's the case. But those are my middle fingers. Yeah, I like how this is coming out. I do need to work on the basket. I really do. This is just so easy. Like when I look at the basket, I have to look at the pattern. So when I work the basket, I have to look at the pattern and pay attention to the pattern. I don't have to do that with this. I can just pick it up and start crocheting. And I really like that. I really like that. And so I need to really do what I was supposed to do and put this aside and let this be my palette cleanser, because that's literally what it is. Like when I don't feel like, because I don't have to pay attention to anything. I know this repeat like the back of my hand, so I don't have to think about it. And since that's the case, I should probably start something else and do what I said. But I'm probably not. I'm probably going to at least do a couple more rows because I just started a new skein and I need to get rid of all the yarn barf. Okay. Yeah. So I'm probably going to work on this tonight. I'm probably not going to do any sewing today. It is 7 p.m. my time. I just finished work. So I'm probably going to go take a shower because I was pretty tired this morning. I don't sleep well. I don't sleep well, y'all. I don't sleep well. So I was really tired this morning. And so I'm probably just going to go take a shower, eat something, and get in the bed and work on some crochet. Maybe I'll work on the basket. I'm going to try to work on the basket. At least maybe for the first hour, work on the basket, and then maybe pick up the blanket. I don't know. But I do think I am going to start another project. I just need to figure out what that's going to be. I need to figure out what that's going to be. Yeah, I need to figure out what that's going to be. I'm over here because, like, y'all see the stuff behind me, but y'all don't know that under this table is more stuff. Like, there's more stuff under here. It's a little embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing how much stuff is under here. Um, it's mostly yarn. It's mostly yarn. It's like 98% yarn. Because I just don't have any place to store it. The rest of my yarn is up there in that bin. And I could bring the bin down and I might be able to get a few more skeins in there. But I think that bin is pretty full. I think I probably need to do some type of purge. But I'm such a hoarder when it comes to my craft stuff. Like, it's easier for me to get rid of clothes than it is for me to get rid of a fat quarter. I can go in my closet right now and pick 10 shirts to throw away. But I could not go back there in that stash and pick 10 fat quarters to throw away. Can't do it. I can't do it. I'm stuck. So yeah, I do need to find something to work on. I need to find something to work on. I just don't know what that's going to be or what it's going to look like. But let's be real, because it's already May 16th. We're about to be in full summer mode. Our party is July 6th. And generally for 3 weeks before that, I don't do much sewing. I'm hoping it's a little different this year because I've got the small projects because, like, we have so many people that come to our house during that time. And we don't have a lot of places for people to sleep. It's a 3-bedroom house. And up there, it's about 1,600 square feet. That's about it. If you include down here, it might be about 18. And I think if you include down here, this is like another 600 square feet down here. So when we have like a party like that and there are adult beverages involved, you don't want people driving home. And then we have people that come from out of town. So we like to have like spaces for people to sleep. And yeah, we've got couches and we can fit like 4 people on a couch. And then we can put air mattresses and people can sleep on air mattresses. But invariably, somebody needs to sleep down here, which means that my entire space gets collapsed. So all of this gets brought all in, everything gets cleaned out, so we can put, 3 air mattresses down here if we need to. So once we get close to the party, I have to clean up this area, and then I can't really do a whole lot of crafting because I make messes when I craft. I can't craft clean. I can't craft and be tidy at the same time. It's impossible. I can barely be tidy when I'm doing nothing. But, yeah. So I think I'm going to focus. During that time, I might do some of the small projects. I've got a lot of open gate quilt small projects, and that might be something that I can work on, when things start getting into full swing. And then, another thing, the weather gets nicer, the days are longer, there are more outdoor activities. The pool opens June 1st. And then like 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll be going to do water aerobics. And that starts at like 6:30. And it takes me like 40 minutes to get there. So I'll be leaving, and then we work out from like 6:30 to 7:30. I don't get home until 8:30. So there's no sewing that's going to happen, because then when I get home, I'm wet. I've got a shower. I'm starving also because I've worked out and I've been in the pool. So I'm hungry and I need a shower. And then by the time I shower, dress, I'm not coming down here to sew. So I know that there's going to be a lot less crafting going on in the summer. There's just less opportunity to come down here and do that. So I don't know. It's something I really need to think about. I'm talking way too much. This video is way too long. This video is way too long. Because now I'm just spitballing. Anyway, I need to figure out what my crafting life is going to look like from now to September. My instinct tells me that now that I've gotten back into crochet, I'm going to be doing a lot more crochet during the summer. Because normally during the summer, my crafting just kind of falls off. It just, especially June, July, August, it just falls off. And, the crochet, I can bring that in the car. I can take it with me. Whereas like my sewing machine, my sewing, I really can't. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about what the next, 90 days are going to look like, Actually 120 days. What the next 3 or 4 months are going to look like as far as crafting. I'm actually pretty excited. No idea. I've definitely done less quilts this year. Okay. The quilts I started last year, my passion projects I started last year, I've only finished one since last year. And it is almost the end of May. We're halfway through May. So, I definitely don't plan to start any new quilts. I'm just really enjoying working on these small projects. These small projects are giving me life. Right? They're giving me life because I can do it and it's done. And if I can't finish it in a day, I can certainly finish it over the course of, maybe I can't finish it over one sewing session or, one crafting session, but certainly over the course of 3 or 4 or 5, I can be done. And then I have something beautiful, like this, or, like this, or like this, or like this. So in the course of 30 days, basically, well, I've been working on this for way more than 30 days, but I've gotten all of this done. No quilts, but I've gotten all of this done. Whereas if it was a quilt, I'd still be working on that quilt. And I get bored. And so I'm just really enjoying having something fresh to work on. They say that the best parts of a project are starting it and ending it. So the very, very beginning, you're super excited, you're gung-ho. And at the end, you're almost done, so you're super excited and you're gung-ho. But that time in the middle, I really wanted to get, I've got 2 quilts that all the blocks are done. I just need to lay them out and lay out the rows and sew the rows together, sew the blocks together in the rows and sew the rows together. I just haven't done it. I did a little bit more work on this. This is going to be a table runner. These are the blocks. I squared up some blocks and I want to do some sewing on that. I'm just enjoying working on these small projects. I really am. I'm just enjoying the lack of commitment. A quilt is a commitment. It's a commitment. Because once you get that quilt top together, you're not done. You've got to baste that sucker. And basting can take an hour or 2 to baste a quilt. And then you've got to quilt it, which can take hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. And I'm just enjoying being able to continuously start something new. Like constantly be working on something new. I'm really, really enjoying that. I've always just gone from quilt to 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 quilt. And that's all I've made is quilts. Quilt after quilt after quilt after quilt after quilt. And I'm enjoying the break from that. But I do really want to get back to my passion projects. I do want to get back to them. I do. Um, but I'm just enjoying doing what I want when I want. You know? I'm enjoying doing what I want, when I want, how I want. You know, there's such a lack of control in our everyday life. You know, we have just commitments and deadlines and responsibilities and expectations. And I was bringing that into my quilting space where it's like, well, I have to do this today or I've got to get that done. And I'm making these deadlines for myself in my quilting. And so I'm adding a layer of stress into what is supposed to be my stress reliever. And I don't want to do that anymore. For this to really be my therapy, then I have to be able to do what I want, when I want, how I want. And that's what I'm doing. So that is it for me, you guys. I am going to go do some chores. I'm going to eat a little bit of my leftover lunch from today when I went out with my daughter. And I am going to pour myself a glass of wine that my daughter bought me. And after I eat, I'm going to take myself a shower. I'm going to get in my bed. I'm going to put on some good TV. And I'm going to do some crochet. And that's the life of a 47-year-old. And I'm excited about that. Like, I'm excited. We don't have to cook dinner. Dinner is already made because Adrian made enough food yesterday. I just need to like heat it up a little bit and like loosen it up because it's noodles, it's pasta, and it got a little tight. So I need to add a little something to loosen it up, but that's it. It's going to take 10 minutes and I'll be done. There's no dishes to wash since we don't have to cook. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I'm excited to go do nothing. And I hope that you guys get to spend your evening doing nothing. And that is it for me. And I'll see you guys next video.